Hello friends, you're watching India Today Tech, and in this video we're going to take a look at the Redmi 5A that has just arrived in our office. The phone has a 5-inch display and is very similar to what Xiaomi has launched in China. Only difference would be the fact that it uses a Snapdragon 425 chip. In this video we'll be taking a look at the full specifications. So before moving further, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. Okay, so the Redmi 5A will be launched in India, and it's a phone that is the successor to the Redmi 4A. It's very different from the Redmi 4 because the design of the phones have been very different from what the Note series had, but then again it's a very budget friendly smartphone, and Xiaomi would probably launch it at the same price, that is 5,999 for the 2GB 16GB variant. Also note that the phone is made in India like all the Xiaomi phones, so it probably is manufactured in India. Okay, so here is the Redmi 5A guys. It has a white front as you can see, and at the back side it has a golden finish. It is a unibody smartphone and comes with a single camera at the back. As I see, there are plastic inserts on the top and the bottom, and the phone probably may not be made out of metal, but it does have a very handy ergonomics. The design is very much inspired from the Redmi 3S and the 3S Prime, and is very different from the Redmi 4 that have a free-flowing design and antenna lines done in metal. Let's take a look at the other contents of the box and we'll come back to the phone. First up, there is a user guide that tells you how to set up the phone. The SAR value on this device is 1.072 watt per kg for head and 0.9 for the body, which is much less than the limit of 1.6 watt per kg. Next, there is the warranty information provided on a different leaflet. There is a micro USB cable, a SIM ejector tool, and a power adapter with 1 ampere of output rating. Now, like with all Xiaomi phones, you don't get earphones with the Redmi 5A. So now let's take a look at the phone. On the left, the Redmi 5A has 2 card slots, one of which is micro SD card slot with a SIM 1 slot, and then there is a dedicated SIM 2 slot as well. So you can expand the storage without sacrificing the second SIM card slot. Moving further, we have a micro USB port with a primary microphone. At the back there is a speaker grill and single camera with LED flash, and at the top you get secondary microphone, IR blaster, and the 3.5mm audio jack. Now the peculiar thing about the Redmi 5A is that it doesn't include a fingerprint scanner, which was also missing on the Redmi 4A. You get capacitive keys below the screen which are also not backlit, but the fingerprint scanner is also missing on the device. Now let's take a look at the specs of the smartphone, which you will see are very similar to that of the Redmi 4A. The phone has a 5-inch IPS LCD screen that has a 720p resolution. There is no Corning Gorilla Glass on the top. The phone runs a Snapdragon 425 chip under the hood with 2GB of RAM and 16GB of storage. You also get storage expansion of up to 256GB via micro SD card. At the rear, the phone has a 13 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture, and at the front the phone comes with a 5 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture. The phone runs Android Nougat 7.1.2 out of the box with MIUI 9 on top. As for the battery, the Redmi 5A packs a 3000 mAh battery which is non-removable. So the phone has been set up, and as you can see, there is MIUI 9 on the device. The display quality is not that great, but of course it's a budget segment smartphone for which you don't get a sunlight display like you do get with the Redmi Note 4. But then again, we'll be able to tell you after full testing in bright outdoor conditions. So many of the smartphones have got the MIUI 9 upgrade, including the Redmi 4A and the Redmi 3S Prime as well. So the software would be same as that on those phones, and the fact that you don't get any better specifications for the same price doesn't really make the Redmi 5A a good upgrade. Apart from the usual apps that you get on a Xiaomi smartphone like these, you also get some other apps from Microsoft. The phone does have a lot of features when it comes to MIUI 9. For example, you can create dual apps, and there are also several other features you get on the smartphone that seem to be quite nice for this price range. But we see that all this bloat also leads to a slower interface. For example, while you are opening the apps, there is a slight lag, and when you are switching from portrait to landscape mode in YouTube videos, you will see that there is a moment of delay before the app launches. If the interface falters with more data on it, is something we'll be able to tell you only after our full testing. But the good part is that the touch response on the device is very smooth, something that we have seen to be true with most of the Xiaomi smartphones, and quite a difficult thing to find in this price bracket. Now let's take a look at the camera app on the smartphone. You do get autofocus and you also get HDR, which is nice. Apart from that, you get to shoot the panorama and other modes as well, but there is no option for slow motion or time-lapse recording. At the front as well, you'll see that there is no HDR and there are very minimal options. There's one to get beautification mode, which really ruins the photo. So we'll take one without it and see the shutter lag on the smartphone. The shutter is fairly fast, it's not slow. As for the camera, it does take good photos in bright light, which was also the case with the Redmi 4 and the Redmi 4A. Most of the Redmi phones in this price segment come with cameras that no other phone can beat, and same is the case with the Redmi 5A. Of course, it does have noise in low light photos, but then the autofocus works quite well and the phone latches onto the object very accurately and in very less time. The amount of details captured by the phone in low light as well is also quite good for the price. The front camera, as we saw, can also do a great job in low light conditions. It's only that it's a 5 megapixel camera, so you won't get that amount of details, but its low light capability is quite good. We'll be doing the full review and we'll be letting you know how good are the cameras if you compare them with the Redmi 4 that comes at a slightly higher price, or the Redmi Note 4. If you'd like to ask anything about the phone, let us know in the comment section below. Also, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and share this with your friends. Subscribe to our channel to watch latest stuff on technology. Thank you for watching.